Hello guys, thanks for joining me in this video. It is quite interesting. The Hausa communities are now rising to the occasion. They have vowed that never again will any Fulani rule Nigeria. Over the years or decades, they have been on the path of disadvantage. The Fulanis has used their influence to gain political advantage over them. Now it is very clear that the intention of the Fulanis was to subjugate them, marginalize them, and it is becoming very clear that they are almost irrelevant in matters of politics or economic decisions that borders on the interests of the North. They have discovered they are nowhere to be found in the scheme of events and within the political arena. There have not been any prominent northern elites that is of Hausa extraction, to the point that they are now regretting that the way they accommodated the Hausas, they thought they were their brothers, the Islamic brothers. But now the Fulanis are making it very clear that it's all about ethnic dominance, exclusive dominance and control. That despite sharing, of course, similarities or the same religion, that what matters is what is playing key in deciding who controls the economy, the political decisions in the North is ethnic centric. Against this background, the Hausas has never had any political group or pressure group that is protecting the interests of the Hausas. The Fulani has the Arewas, the Fulani has the Mieti Allah, all these political or sociocultural interest group are defending the interests of an average Fulani man. They are projecting the interests of the Fulanis. This is to tell you how politically sound and calculative an average Fulani is. Unfortunately, using the population of other minorities, of other ethnic nationalities within the North to achieve the agenda of exclusive dominance. They're not complaining their own sanity, which Daura happens to be the cradle of the traditional monarchical system, has collapsed, being replaced or dominated by the Sokoto Caliphate. And they have vowed, never again will this happen. We are rising to the occasion. We are going to face the tides. We are going to correct the anomalies, the errors of the past. Our lands has been ceded to the Fulanis. They produce the emirs. They have replaced our Sarikis, monarchical system of leadership that is of Hausa origin. Well, let me leave you with this. In as much as you may not understand the Hausa language, I will come back to give you more details of what is happening. And again, similar to this is what the Ilaje group are doing in Lagos State. Of recent, you saw the Ilaje group, they came up, they expressed their grievances and frustration, accusing the Yoruba from other southwestern states of usurping the rights of the two Lagosian indigenes and constituting public political conflicts, land disputes, and social conflicts, while sidelining the aborigines, those whose indigenous state is Lagos. That the Lagos people cannot lose their rights at the altar of migration. That other Yorubas who came from different states now claiming Lagosians are the ones usurping the entire political and economic resources that was meant for Lagos people, while Lagosians are now watching helplessly as slaves in their supposed states, taking decisions, political and economic decisions that does not go down well with the Lagos people almost equal. So they have these similarities, and eventually it is an interesting moment to watch. Everybody waking up to that political consciousness and reawakening of this sort will definitely pave a way to recovery. They said we cannot be used as slaves in our own country, in our own states. We are the indigenous people of Lagos. So we cannot continue to allow the immigrants, those who migrated down to Lagos, regardless of the fact that they are Yoruba speaking tongues, to usurp the entire political and economic space. Again, that the Oba of Ijora and the rest of them are not Lagosians. They came to Lagos and usurped those traditional rights and monarchical, of course, system of leadership. Why they stand back and watch all this playing out for decades, it is time to reclaim their own rightful position in the political and economic sphere as far as Lagos is concerned. So the Hausas are saying Fulani has robbed us for so long, the same way the Ilaje people who believe, or the Omo Eko, who are the original owner of Lagos State, is saying other Yorubas from other states have robbed us so much. You can imagine we are just watching. People who have ruled Lagos, majority are not from Lagos, apart from Ambode and the rest of them. They control the economy and they have nothing to lose. So they foment trouble, and eventually that will lead to the exodus of those contributing to the growth and development of Lagos. Well, it's an interesting moment to watch. And let me leave you with this voice note while we come back for more deliberations. Hausa, they have taken, after forming this socio-political group, they are now taking the next strategy. But what this video to see what their groups are all about. So, haka aka mulki Hausa, mulki da kasance sai Allah ya kawo mai rahama ya turo mai tura mulkin mallaka. Da ya turo mai tura mulkin mallaka sun zo sun karɓe mulki a hannun su wa'annan sarakunan Fulani. Da suka karɓe mulki wata rana Elizabeth ta zo Najeriya. Da ta zo sai ta tattaba sarkin Kano hannu aka kwaɗe hannu. Da aka kwaɗe hannu shi ne wanda dalilin wannan abu da ya faru sai sarki a wannan gwamnan arewa na lokacin wanda ya ce ma gwamna Duga shi ne ya gaban sarki ya ce masa daga yau ya ce Fulani mun zo a ƙasar Hausa mun kwace ma Hausa mulki mun kuma zo kwace mulki daga yau ba ku da wani abu da za ku zarta a ƙasar nan har sai kun nemi izini daga gare mu. Me ke nufi hakan ba su da wani fawa kenan ba su da wani ƙarfi kenan. A duniya ana da yarurruka guda 7,000. Hausa ita ce yare na 11 a duk duniya. A West Africa, kasashen da muke da su a West Africa, Hausa ita ce yare na farko. Wannan yaren naku ne na maguzawa da ake wato wani ake zage mu da sunan maguzanci. To a daga cikin da bani da lokaci mai yawa, zan zo in kira hankalin Bahaushe. Duk ilahirin dangin Hausawa a ko'ina suke. Za mu ishe su. Kaman abin da ya samu Hausawa babu wanda yake da kishi a cikin shi sai yarda da shi. Ko abin ya isa. You can see them galvanizing themselves and getting ready, of course, to recover their lost heritage, both economically and politically, that their own land had been usurped. He was narrating what happened during the period of Lord Lugard, how they welcomed the Fulanese, and eventually, over time, the Fulani usurped the political uh, authority within the north, deceiving the gullible Hausas. He said that the Hausas population are zealous, but unfortunately they were misled or deceived to believe that, thinking it was meant to protect their interests, but they never knew they were being used against their own psyches, against their own interests. But only time, of course, revealed the truth. But sadly, it is almost late for them because they have lost both the economic and political relevance as far as matters of politics in Nigeria is concerned, that the Hausas ranks the 11th globally and the first in West Africa, but today they are being relegated back to the ground. And they are not declaring enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yaisa, we are no longer going to take and accept these subjugations and exclusive dominance that was deliberately forced on us without knowing it. But we cannot continue to live in the past. We, the generation of this time, must correct the errors of our forefathers, correct the errors of those who were before us, who could not see beyond their nose. Unfortunately, we are now paying the price, bearing the brunt of this sabotage. It is quite a very disturbing one. You can see the mammoth crowd as they continue to gather to demand for justice. They are now demanding that the rightful place of Hausa, in Nigeria and beyond, must be restored. Hausas have been known as one of the major ethnic nationalities, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, in Nigeria. But today, sadly, they are being displaced. What is being prominently projected is the Fulanis. You see, the Fulanis are now coming out of their shell, you know, to assert their dominance. They are not trying to separate. No, there is difference between the Hausas and the Fulanis. An average Fulani now would not accept to be called Hausas, but in the 60s and beyond, you see, they embrace themselves as Hausas because Hausa is being used as a general language in the north to express and transact business and the rest of them. But today, the Fulanis are coming out to say, no, we have control of the governance, we have the control of the governors, we project, of course, the political terrain, we're in charge of the monarchical system. The emirs of Kano and the rest of them are Fulani descent. Where is the place of the Hausa Sarikis? Where is the place of the Hausa of course, hegemonies and political activists and the rest of them? They are beginning to uh, converge, to congregate, to form a formidable force that will now defend the interests and the rights of the Hausas. This they have ignored over the years. They're saying that no, they were deceived, or their forefathers were deceived, and they can't continue to wallow in such deceptions. Now they are being told to their face they are more or less irrelevant. But they are saying, no, we are going to push back. We are going to recover our lost heritage, our lost place as far as politics in Nigeria and beyond is concerned. We are seen scattered all over. And that is true. Hausa is one of the major languages across and beyond West Africa. But today, where is their place of relevance? in terms of commerce, economy, and politics. They have been relegated, I mean, seriously relegated down to the background, just as Mazen Namdekano said it. Go and study what happened to the Hausas, how they were systematically and deliberately sidelined. Today, an average Fulani man is coming with his chest out to say he is a Fulani man, not to be regarded as Hausa Fulani. We are Fulanis. They're in the Hausa communities, even moving their cows, the herds, to Hausa farms, threatening that they are going to destroy Namuchuburu Bansu, even using Hausa language to interact. What is left for the Hausas is just their language. And this language, they are using it as an instrument of restoration, galvanizing their people and rediscovering themselves. Just as the Ilaje people recently came up and said, we are not second-class citizens in our own indigenous state. How comes those who migrated to Lagos, the commercial city, eventually usurps the opportunities, the political opportunities that is meant for the indigenous people? The Omo Eko deserve to be governors of Lagos and not the other way around, insisting that those who preside as the Obas or traditional heads in Lagos are not from Lagos. They are from neighboring southwestern states. How can they migrate to this place and usurp our own interests? They are causing political conflicts, unrest, land disputes, and social conflicts, trying to give us a bad name. The Hausas also argue the same way that they are not bad people, they are everywhere. They promote peace and coexistence, but the Fulanis has come to sow seed of discord, giving them a bad name. They are not bad people, they are loving people, they are open and liberal, accommodative, which I strongly agree with them. Yes, because I spent not less than a decade in Hausa. In fact, where I was born, precisely Kano State. I understood that they are loving people, they are very open-minded people, and honest in their dealings and the rest of them. But sadly, they have been corrupted by certain elements, and that is not without an intention. And sadly, today, different Hausa communities are being sacked, occupied. This has informed the reason why they are rising now. If you say we are of the same religion, why are you fighting us? Why are you raping our women? Why are you invading our communities? Why are you destroying our farmlands? These are questions opening up to the true realities of events, of the strategies and programs. Of course, definitely, not even the Fulanis could respond to these questions. And these have triggered a movement, the Hausa movement. You see them canvassing and demanding that never again will a Fulani man rise to the seat of power using them as a stooge, using them to project their interests. And at the end of the day, they are being sidelined and cut off from the resources and, of course, proceeds of such political gains. They are being used as rubber stamp and dumped. We can continue like this. The same way applies to the Ilaje people. Majority of them are being given money, and they felt that was enough to keep them and the enjoyment galore and the rest of them. But they are now realizing suddenly that there is no place for their future. There is no place for their children. They have mortgaged the destiny of their own children. That immigrants are now in charge of the political decisions in their own states. For a morsel of bread, sadly, they sold their birthright. Majority of them. Some are saying, no, we can't continue to be giving peanuts and the rest of them porridge while we sold our birthright. One of the illustrious son of Lagos, in the person of Vigor, Rhodes Vigor, eventually contested for office of the governor of Lagos. But those people, those migrants, we are describing him as Omale, Chinedu, an Igbo descent, while his father is the main Lagosian, is from Omo Eko. They are saying this cannot continue. We have discovered our mistakes, and we must demand that the rights of the Lagos indigenes should no longer be mortgaged. It is quite an interesting development, and whatever happens, it is building an atmosphere of consciousness, the awakening. And this is quite interesting because the political terrain will be shifted. There is a dynamic shift of what used to be in the previous years. They are saying, no, we must demand that right. It is our right and it's not negotiable. Don't constitute nuisance in our place and give us bad name while you cut away our resources and think we can watch back and see such level of ruins or bringing destruction to ourselves. We are accommodative and you should allow everyone to strive, especially the law-abiding ones. You cannot come and make noise, cause trouble in our own land, and you get away because you have nothing to lose. Well, let's have your own take with this development. How determined are the Hausas? How committed are the Lajes, the Omoikos,